welcome again to the Eyes Open Network. Today I want to talk to you about a story that I've been following since last week, Wednesday, October 15th. It has to do with the Department of Homeland Security and their computer system that checks passengers on the terror watch list. It goes offline. So the Department of Homeland Security is wondering what happened. This computer system that they use to check against the terror watch list, it briefly, as they put it, experienced service disruptions. This was reported fairly quietly, I would say, on mainstream media, Fox News, NBC News, all the main news outlets, but they didn't really dig into it much. And I've got a clip following this to let you see something that was produced by NBC News, but the officials told NBC News that the system was back up after 9 p.m. U.S. Customs and Border Protection said that the outage lasted about 90 minutes, and the problem was with processing systems at the airports in the entry of the U.S. These are major airports that we're talking about here. John F. Kennedy, the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, Seattle, Boston's Logan International. Some of the major ports of entry in the U.S. were impacted by this outage. The interesting part to me is that, not the long lines and the whining and crying and complaining about waiting in line for a long time. Did any of those people stop to think that this is an interesting glitch? It'll be interesting to see what happens 3 to 4 or 5 months from now. I'm not saying anything bad's going to happen, but it would be pretty convenient that there was a 90-minute window where checking against the terror watch list wasn't possible. Hey, just something to think about. Here's the clip from NBC News.
Federal officials say the system used to check passenger names against not only the terror watch list but other law enforcement databases was down for over an hour Wednesday night because, they say, of a technical failure that slowed down the process of checking passengers arriving in the U.S. on flights from overseas. Officials from CBP, Customs and Border Protection didn't stop the check-in lines, but they had to use paper lists and other procedures, which took longer. Officials say the computer system was down for about an hour and a half, but when it came back up, lines at some airports had grown considerably. Many annoyed passengers vented their frustrations on social media. The failure, detected just before 7 o'clock Wednesday night, was in a CBP mainframe computer. The Department of Homeland Security officials say there's no indication this was anything other than a technical problem. No sign, they say, of hacking.
Okay, so let's get this straight. The computer systems at major airports around the U.S., New York, Atlanta, Seattle, Boston, Texas, Atlanta being the busiest airport in the world, the systems were down in order to check people coming into the country from overseas against the terror watch list. But yet they still process the passengers, having them fill out paperwork. And this is supposed to just fly under the radar, I suppose. There's so many people not paying attention to what's happening. This isn't to say that something bad is going to happen. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it is something that should be paid attention to. It's something that you should take notice of, and that 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months. And hey, don't get me wrong. I want to be wrong here. I want to be completely off base. I want to be completely out in left field. But if something crazy happens in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, it's right here. We always ask, how did the people from 9/11 get into the country in order to get on these planes? Well, a 90-minute window where the terror watch list isn't available to the Homeland Security at airports, that's a pretty convenient window. And they say there's no hacking, but who's to say, right? And if there was hacking, would they tell you? You're watching another Eyes Open Network video. I hope that this video and all our other videos sure help you open your eyes to what's happening in the world around you. This video was about the Homeland Security and the breakdown of the computer system that takes care of the terror watch system. If you enjoyed this video and you have some comments, please leave them below. If you want to ask questions, or if you want us to look into something else, we'll dig into whatever you think we might need to be looking into. the Eyes Open Network provides the truth, and sometimes the fills in the blanks when the mainstream media isn't giving you the whole story. So if you really like what you see here and you're interested, make sure you subscribe below so that you can stay up to date with what the Eyes Open Network is covering next. Take care, have yourself an awesome day, and we'll see you soon. Bye now.